You have incense? That shit smells fucking good, bruh.
General Grievous is here. Stick with the objective. We're losing the
I
objective.
love the smell of
Go
that
there and
stuff.
defend it now.
Bro, Xander, it sounds like the shrooms helped you. Seems like you had a positive experience with them.
At the objective. Guard the objective.
That's cool. Can I come steal some?
Droids are taking the objective.
You know, I want to do shrooms while I'm playing Battlefront 2. I want to be a fucking clone trooper. Yeah, probably start tweaking out, bro. But,
Protect the objective. Stick with the objective.
do you think I would believe that I was inside the game in, like, in a life or death situation? Why does that make me want to do it?
Protect the objective. Smoke ready. The Sevies are taking control of the objective. Last is broken through. Fall back. Concentrate the defenses around the last objective.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let the clankers destroy that objective. We're gonna use all we have for the defense.
Yeah.
Enemy forces are taking out the target.
If I could convince myself that I was on the shrooms and then, like, felt like I was in the game, but, like, not gonna die in real life, bro. Oh, I would do it all the time.
Flanker scan. Watch those red dropping.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd start thinking y'all were battle droids, and I'd start trying to shoot you guys because I would think I'm a clone trooper, and the Republic and Star Wars, and I would think you guys are droids, and you'd have to die.
Droid scan.
Probably would be so hype. No, probably not. But
Scanning infantry.
yeah, I'm playing Battlefront 2 right now. I'm streaming it.
Master Kenobi has joined us.
What? Yeah, I was. But now I'm sitting down and I'm comfortable.
Covering the kill.
You can't even play. What do you guys want to play? You want to play Warzone? We'll play,
Taking out the target.
no. Oh.
Droids seem to be shooting straight for once. Don't let them deal any more damage. All we can do is hope we bought the crew enough time to get away.
Hell yeah. Bro, you're speaking facts. This is true. I had the same problem, like, when I would be done working out, or like I would have a headache in the back of my head and I'd really be problems. I went to my doctor and they said, we should check your salt levels. And now I have this drink that has a lot more salt in it that I take, especially when working out, and I don't have the headaches anymore. I might have POTS. I do. I do have epilepsy, but it's not like it wasn't a seizure. I would know. It was definitely not a seizure. But yeah, because I had brain surgery because I had my first seizure in 2019. My mom ran to my room. This is my junior year of high school. And she was like, what the fuck is happening? And then we got an MRI. So it was a blessing that I got the seizure because then they found the tumor. It was benign, but it was a tumor and tumors can become cancerous. So then I got the tumor taken out like 2 months later. I got out of school early for that. Yes. Yeah, it was in the parietal lobe at the very end of it, close to the occipital lobe. So like the top lobe of your brain, but a little farther back. And they took it out. It was fine. I got out of the hospital in 3 fucking days. Just kind of wild. I recovered really quickly. Um, and then they thought, oh, you might have another seizure from the surgery, from the scar tissue irritating your brain in the same spot. But in the long run, you're going to be better. I did have another seizure later. And they're like, oh shit, they got another MRI and they're like, it's probably from scar tissue and that hole in your brain now is filling in with fluid and eventually the brain will mold into that spot, but it's going to cause irritation. So then I started seizure meds. The first ones didn't work. I was still having seizures. Then I tried a new seizure med. It worked way better. And eventually they're like, after like a year, they're like, we actually might be able to go off of these meds. I was going off of it. A month later, I had another seizure. So obviously it didn't work. I went back on the meds and I was good for like a year and a half. And then I had another seizure. So then they upped my dose even higher. And then I've had one seizure since like 3 years ago, but I've been fine since. And I have MRIs every once in a while, but it's not hindering my physical ability to do anything anymore. I have a wicked scar on the back of my head, but I mean, it's covered by my hair. But like, I'm fine now. Honestly, it's like the best case scenario you could have. Oh hell no, no. I was out for I think it was like 5.5 hours the operation, but yeah, I was not. There's no way. Starts on like the um. If you move your hand up from your neck, and you know how your skull kind of curves outwards after your neck, and then curves back inwards. Um, it's like right where your a lot of people have hair calyx where their hair kind of spirals out from that part of their head, the center top but a little bit back, like right where yeah, yeah, that's basically where the tumor was, a little bit farther back, and it was a little bit into the brain. It wasn't on the surface, so they had to spread the brain matter a little bit. Yeah, but it wasn't very deep in. It was a few millimeters under the. Yeah, they did have to spread the cheeks. So they took it out, um, but the scar went all the way down to like almost to my neck because they had to spread the skin out. And they have this thing that makes incisions kind of like a saw for your skull. It's literally a circle that they cut out of my skull, like a circle probably the size of your. It's yeah, it's probably the size of if you put your thumb and your pointer finger together in a circle, about that size, maybe a little bit bigger. And then they just do their magic, bro. I don't know how the fuck they do it, but the only reason it takes 5 hours is because they're so incredibly cautious with it. And yeah, the actual time that they're in the brain, I think it's like 5 minutes. But all the it's just a preparation. It takes hours when they're in. They're marking everything. They have to make sure they're in the exact spot they need to be. They take a ton of scans after I'm already out. Do all this shit. There was a risk that I would lose like my peripheral vision in my right eye and no, in my left eye, and like I'd be a quarter blind in the left eye, so I'd only be able to see like half in my left eye. It was an extremely low chance though, like 1 out of 500 probably. So I mean, like I wasn't too worried, but and then there was another possibility that it could really hinder my spatial awareness, like depth perception, and I would never be able to drive. But neither one of those happened. I was driving 6 months after. So, I mean, I was playing soccer way too early than I should have. But so does Xander, it seems. Bro's talking about all this. Yeah, there's probably a lot more deep in there that you haven't even talked about. But, like, now, I will say it's very fascinating how they like cut the skull. They literally put the piece of your skull that they cut out. They put in like the solution. Yeah, they do put it back in, but while they're doing it, there's just like this fucking cup. They just put it in the solution, and then they put it back in and they bracket it. Um, it's like a puzzle piece, and then your skull is cool, and the bones can fuse back together over time, just like it does with babies. So, like, and then oh yeah, it's so much better now. And the brackets will forever stay in there. They could be removed if they want, but there's no reason to. They're small. Yeah. And but like the brackets aren't doing shit anymore. The skull's completely fused now. It takes like I think a full year for it to fully fuse, but the brackets are so strong it doesn't even matter. Um, yeah, you can actually feel them a little bit still. Not really as much anymore because my as you feel a tiny butt, but like my skull has kind of mended over them a little bit, like almost covered them. They said that's normal, so they're kind of inside the bone now. Yeah, but they'll never like go away. They'll always be there. They don't dissolve or any shit. Yeah, I don't think the type of material they use is not toxic to your body. But yeah, honestly, the annoying part is not the skull. Like you didn't even feel that shit. There's not really many nerves. But what you the painful part was the fucking giant incision in the back of my head. So and the headaches. Oh my god, bro. The first week out, the first night after the surgery, it genuinely felt like someone was sticking a hammer to the back of my head over and over. I thought I was gonna fucking die, bro. And like it's just normal because your brain has been so fucked over, but your nerves are going haywire for a solid 4 hours, and they were giving me some wild painkillers, but it still wasn't strong enough, and they can't give you too much because it's not safe. So, oh my gosh, bro, they said if I didn't have painkillers, I'd probably just pass out from the amount of pain that it would be. And I was kind of wishing I would just pass out, but it was on the brink of where I wouldn't pass out from the pain, but it was so painful that I was just like, there was a baby in the ICU right by me. on the other room that I think also had brain surgery, which is super sad, but good for them. Obviously, they were fucking crying the whole entire night, obviously, so that didn't help me either because the smallest of sounds would really irritate me at the time. My senses were like, it's like fuck. I had fucking like Spidey sense, bro. Yes, it was bad. My mom was typing on her phone at one point, and she didn't even have the sound on. I could hear her fingers tapping on the glass, and I'm like, "Shut up!" Like it was bad, bro. That small. Even if I like moved my head to the side or something, the sound of the hair rubbing against the pillow. Well, the back of my head was a little bit shaved, but the sound of like the bandages and stuff moving, it sounded like someone was screaming, dude. It was weird. That only lasted for like a day though, and then after that, I was just recovering and high on a bunch of weird meds and was kind of in La La Land for 2 days. But yeah. And you know the worst part of it all? I think 8 days after I played a soccer game. I'm joking. I don't really know, and I didn't ever hire the ball, obviously, but like, I think I was in this mindset of like, I was so paranoid that nothing was going to be the same anymore that I just wanted to do everything and pretend like it never happened. Obviously, it was really dumb. And then after that, I waited for like, yeah, and then I didn't for like 2 more weeks. And actually, the doctor said within like 3 to 4 weeks I could, but I just could not header the ball. But I mean, the neurosurgeon was saying it's one of the best surgeries they think they've ever done. Like it went perfectly. So he told me he's like, if you want to have brain surgery, this is the best case scenario. I was like, okay, chill. Doesn't really affect me anymore. The seizure meds have side effects. They make me a little bit tired if I sit down for too long. Like, but it's pretty easily countered by just eating and taking caffeine pills every day.
All the positions must be secured.
I watched all of the Clone Wars in like 2 weeks afterwards, and I had weird fucking dreams for a while after the surgery because my brain was still kind of fucked up. Oh boy. I had a dream that I was my own mother. I'm not even lying. I had a dream that like I was like, yeah, it was. I don't know, bro. That's the thing. Like your brain starts like taking common sense and throwing it out the window and just pulling a bunch of shit together when you're on some of these painkillers, and also just after the surgery. Part of your brain that does dreaming was affected, and they had told me that by the surgery, and it might make shit a little bit weird. And they said usually it would just make it so you don't dream at all, but sometimes they'll make it where you're a little bit too conscious while you're dreaming. Yeah, and a lot of people actually try to do like that, where they can kind of control their dream. But it's not fun. It's not what you feel like because you don't feel like you're in normal reality when you're dreaming, and you start to kind of tweak out, kind of like mushrooms, I guess. And I was having a panic attack thinking that I was my own mom and I was tweaking out. But I like I got out of my bed in the morning, I like ran to my parents' room. I'm fucking, what, I think I'm 17 at this point. I'm like, this is horrible, I'm my own mom, what do I do? And they're like, what? I was like genuinely tweaking out about it for an hour after waking up. There's some other weird shit that happened. When your brain gets touched, usually some weird things happen. Yeah. The lightest touch on your brain can completely change something in your body. Yeah, for real. Even something as simple as a fucking fly, like somehow if landed on your brain, theoretically, that would give you, you would have the largest headache for weeks. Even like the tiniest touch, because it messes up the electricity in your brain, neurons firing, it just messes up a bunch of shit and stuff goes haywire. Let alone spreading it apart a little bit. Apparently it said the brain is insanely malleable to the point where you can literally just pull it apart, kind of, to like get into the tumor. They didn't have to like cut or anything, they just had to pull, and then it kind of just flaps back together after you let go of it. And they said the brain almost has like its own muscle memory of its shape. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not pink like every picture depicts it as. I didn't know that. That is cool. I did not know that. My surgeon told me that the brain is mostly gray. I was like, oh. Did not know that. Besides blood vessels and shit, but... I mean, after that, for a while, I literally wanted to be a neurosurgeon because I was so fascinated with it. And then I looked at the schooling and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I would never. I thought that for a few weeks. And I was like, oh, and I looked at it, and I'm like, you're gonna be in debt for so long, and then you'll be fucking rich after like one surgery. But also the stress, having someone's life in your hands. I couldn't do that. If they fucking like drop a tool, like they could just be dead. So. Some surgeries, they do have to cut some things in your brain, and that's when shit gets dangerous. But not mine, because it was close enough to the surface. Also, bro, another thing about the brain is we haven't even, like, people say that, you know, like, we only know 1% of the ability that what our brain does and how it works, and I honestly think it's probably less than that. And, like, I don't think we're ever going to really fully be able to figure out how the hell the human brain even functions. Way more advanced than any computer we've ever made. It's pretty wild. It's like millions of times more advanced than some random computer.
Enemy forces are securing command post Thorn. Reposition immediately.
Yeah, I mean, brains are kind of wild. My neurosurgeon was also named Sam, so I was like, okay, I trust bro. Dude, some neurosurgeons, bro, they don't look like fucking human. Like, this guy looked like a fucking maniac. Like, I feel like when you see a certain amount of human brains, you just start looking at people like there's some sort of, like, test subject, and they don't even try to do that. Yeah. Nah, my dude was like bald. His head was a little bit weirdly shaped. Like he tried to do brain surgery on himself or something, which obviously I don't think he did. But, yeah, he probably did. He used the force to do surgery on his brain. They said the probability that if they had to guess, if we never found the tumor when the seizure, be like a 5% chance that it would eventually become cancerous at some point in my life. But other than that, I probably would have been fine. Just would have seizures every once in a while. But it was actually like, they tried to describe it as my brain actually had become like chill with it in a way where it wasn't really affecting stuff. It was used to it. Like, you could say my brain was like, oh yeah, you live here. We know you, you're chill. But tumors can change over time to become cancerous. And then they start growing. I mean, they even grow when they're not cancerous. a little bit, but very, very slowly. But yeah. It was related to another class of tumor that was like is like apparently one of the most aggressive tumors in brains, but there's like if it's made slightly differently, and they're like you're lucky because there's two types of these tumors, and one of them is basically deadly, and generally there's no way we can really fix it. Even if we take it out, it'll just come back. I was like, oh, okay, that's good to know, I guess.
The Republic is taking control of Command Post Beck.
I had a friend I worked at this like soda shop with when I
You
was
require a memory wipe.
like a sophomore in high school, and she I think she had told me one time that she had like she went to the doctor, she had a brain tumor, and they told her that she literally had like 3 months to live, and they'll try to do the surgery, but they're fairly certain that there's nothing they can do. I remember she came out to me once and just literally told me I got 3 months to live, and I didn't know what to fucking say, and she's actually alive right now. Long story short, or I would not be talking about it like this. Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So she went into the surgery, and they had told her, and her family had knew that like it was probably a 5% chance, or even a little bit less, that she would live,
Command Post Beck.
and she did. I was like, damn, you lucky bastard. I didn't say that, obviously, but you know. It's pretty dope. I bet the surgeon was also hyped.
Enemy forces have started to capture Command Post Dorn.
I mean, the one reason I think being a surgeon would also be cool is the fact that, yeah, you can't save everyone, but you are saving so many people's lives, and that's gotta feel good. Add on that paycheck as well. But you only can appreciate them because they're so beyond talented. They do. There is a few people in this world that can do shit that they do.
Positions.
I mean, I'm pretty sure most people who like tried studying that don't even make it as a surgeon. Maybe they'll be like an assistant or some shit, but like that job is so insanely competitive. And it should be. Like, and though maybe like there's other types of surgeons, like heart surgeons are also insane and stuff, but I think brain surgery is the hardest job to get out of all surgeons. I'm not sure. I know heart surgery is also insanely hard, but I couldn't stomach it, bro. I would, oh,
Anything other than victory is
I don't like
unacceptable
seeing the insides of
outcome.
people.
You must turn this battle around.
But I'm sure they get to the mentality of they just think of it as like a,
General Grievous is here to aid us.
like obviously they think of it as a human, but like while they're doing the surgery, they just think of it as like a task, and like they're just like a machine almost. That they're just fixing a machine. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it's just I couldn't get over the mentality of like, damn, what if I did something different? They would be living. Like that's why it'd be so hard, I think. Living, I feel like you'd live with so much guilt if you like
Post crash.
messed up, or I don't know, felt like you could have done something better that would have saved their life. And now their family is looking at you and like, obviously it's not really your fault, but
Command Post crash.
I'm sure there's times when like parents and stuff are like, why couldn't you save them, you know? And that's the biggest reason why I could never do it. I wanted to be an EMT for a while as well. It's like also kind of gross stuff sometimes, but I don't know. I like the high octane style jobs. One of my brother's friends is an EMT, and I was talking to him about it, and he's like, "You're gonna see some shit, bro. You sure you want to do this?" And I was like, he showed me some pictures, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Are you still playing Battlefield, bro? Yeah, it's just, oh, that would be cool. Like, so you still want to do like surgery on animals and stuff? Maybe you could have saved my dog. Damn, that's kind of dark. What is the name of the disease? Let me look it up real quick. It's a disease that puts the dogs in like fight or flight mode constantly. It's some chemical that leaks into their brain. Let me look it up.
The Republic is capturing Command Post Crash. Our forces have lost control of Command Post Orak.
Huh? I'm just curious. I'm down to play like COD or something. Bro's been grinding.
Our forces have captured Command Post Crash.
It's called Cushing's disease. And it's a common thing that some dogs get when they get older.
The clones are taking Command Post Crash.
And you can tell by like they get a little bit pot-bellied and have an extreme appetite. They lose hair. Always are. One of the biggest things that you can tell is they drink a ton of water, way more than normal, and they're always thirsty and they're peeing a ton because they literally think that they're like they need to eat a ton and drink a ton because they're gonna die or something. Like it puts their mind in a constant fight or flight response. But also dogs try to like hide their feelings to their owners. It's like an instinct. So they're not really gonna like try to come to you for help, but also my dog had like, you know, when a lot of times when dogs need to go out and go potty, they'll like come over and like tap you and stuff. My dog was always doing that, no matter what, even after going, like constantly. And I think that she was trying to tell us that like something was wrong with her, I guess. And then took her to the vet, and they're like, well, she could live for another 6 months probably if she gets medicated, but she'll be really miserable and always freaking out. So honestly, it would probably be better if we just put her down so she could be put out of her misery. So we did that. I didn't even actually get to see her at the vet. I didn't even get to, like, I didn't even know until after she was dead. Yeah, I was at fucking work. I was kind of mad at my parents a little bit, but at the same time I understood why. But yeah, they didn't tell me, and then I had actually looked at my dad's location because I wanted to go to lunch with him because I had worked with him, and I saw he was at a vet, and then I immediately started fearing the worst because we had already been talking about. Like I mean, when I had moved out, I didn't really see her much, but whenever I went to visit my parents, like they lived close to me, I would see her all the time, and I grew up with her, so I was a little bit devastated. I learned in the middle of work, and I told my boss, I'm like, I need to go, dog. He's like, all right, and yeah, I drove her to the vet. I tried to get there, but by the time I was there, they had already taken her body away. So she did die peacefully, though, because they just gave her a sedative and it put her to sleep slowly. And my parents got to hold her and stuff. She died in their arms. That was like
The Republic transports are leaving to attack our dreadnought. Unacceptable.
well.
Master Yoda.
The reason they did it is because, I mean, they didn't know what to do in the situation, to be honest, and they, and I'm not really that mad at them because every second that Shadow was alive, she was in extreme misery at that point. Like, she was freaking out. So they, to their own dog's mercy, they wanted to put her down, and I kind of understand why. Like, Cushing's disease is extremely traumatic for dogs. And there's different levels of it, but it's really, really bad. They're always panicking. So, I didn't feel that bad. I mean, I was a little bit like, why didn't you let me? But it was fine. They were gonna tell me anyways, before I had figured it out and stuff, but, like, I don't really blame them. They were trying to do what was best for the dog, not what's best for the owners. Which I would have done the same.
The Seppies are capturing the objective.
It had gotten really bad. That's why they took her to the vet. She started, like, peeing everywhere and, like, could not freaking walk in a straight line and was, like, starting to panic. So it had gotten to its breaking point if she didn't start medication. And it would have only been 6 months, and the medication would have helped her physically, but not mentally. It had to be done. I mean, it's for the dog's sake. They told me, obviously they would have wanted to wait for me to come over, but I was told that if I would have seen Shadow in that state, I would have understood. And I believe it. I mean, I trust my parents, so. I think they did the right thing. You know? But yeah, it is hard. And either way doesn't really feel like the right way, because if they would have waited, it's putting the dog in more misery. So in reality, I'm happy they did it that way, because I want the dog to not be dying miserably. And it really was my parents' dog. Like, I did grow up with it, but, like, they were the ones that took care of her. And, I mean, I didn't live in the same place. For most of it, when I was growing up, she's there, but I think Shadow was happy. Oh, I know. I know you're not. I didn't think you were. But that's just how I kind of justified, because I had the same feeling of, like, why would they do that? But I kind of had to talk through myself, and I do understand now, and I had asked them about it. Because I was a little bit pissed. I'm like, how could you... Like, I'm 20 minutes away, how could you not tell me? But... that's 20 extra minutes of Shadow being... freaking out. And way worse than before. It was getting so bad. You could see it in her face, apparently. And I could also, like, the last time I had seen her before that happened was like a week before. She did not look right. She did not look good at all. Like, her face, she looks extremely worried. She wasn't really whining. I mean, she didn't really whine that much ever. But, like, at one point I saw her, like, sitting in a corner, like, hiding. She never did that shit, and I was like, there's gotta be something wrong with her.
Prevent the clones from destroying the targets.
But that happened 6 months ago, and honestly, obviously I miss her, but I have definitely gotten over it. Did I tell y'all? Yeah. Damn, we've actually known each other for a decent amount of time now. So that feels like a while ago. I guess January, February. I've gone through all the processes of, like, you know, grief and missing her and stuff. And honestly, now I'm at a point that I'm just happy that we had all that time with her. So many people have to go through dogs dying, and it's worth it though, because of all the good times you had with them. Getting a dog, you're putting yourself in a position where they are gonna eventually leave, because they just don't live as long as we do. I mean, and it wasn't sudden, like I knew it was gonna happen soon. Just tell by the way she was. Her gums were bleeding a ton. She almost had lost all her teeth. She had like one canine left. It looked so goofy when she ate food. She only eats like one side of the mouth. And it was just game over for her. Who was hurt the most was my dad, because all dogs, you know, they love everyone, but they really do pick one person generally that they just are very loyal to. And that was my dad, and I know he like never cries. Bro was like, I don't know what bro was made of, but like bro never cries, and he was fucking bawling. I went over to their house to see them, and I'd never seen him crying before. And that's honestly made me even more sad. I obviously miss Jada, but seeing that, I was like, damn. She was like his best friend. So. Anyways. I mean, I personally believe in life after death. Everyone has their own beliefs, and I respect everyone's belief. That's just what I believe. And so I believe that I'll see Shadow again. But you know what? You want to play like Warzone or something, bruh? Or some shit, or Fortnite, or... You want to just buy a PS5 so you can play, Man, I should have used that car fund into a PC, bruh. True. And it would have been way less than the actual price of the car anyways. PS5 is only like 500, 450, I think, right now. It's enough for a tire and a half. Isn't that wild, though, that a fucking rubber tire is almost the same price? For two, yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about tires. Well, it depends on if you're getting a slim or not. If you get the disc drive, it's like $100 more. And the amount of memory you get on it as well. Damn, I got that exact same shit for like $550. Maybe, no, even $500. So it's a sale, I guess. Got around like October. Just gotta wait for the right times. They got random sales sometimes at Best Buy. I actually fucking hate Best Buy though. The one here is ass. Their return policy is so cheeks. I had bought a controller from them, and I told them, like, I tried it out, and it was literally already faulty out of the box. And they're like, well, since you already opened the box, we can't give you a refund. We can give you in-store credit. And I'm thinking, like, I don't want your fucking in-store credit. I already bought a controller from you, and it sucks. I'm gonna go somewhere else. But they wouldn't refund the money to me. Like, you fucking sound like GameStop, dog. They're nowhere near GameStop, though. Oh my god, bro. Yeah, I'll give you $5 for your Wii.
Enemy forces have disabled the target.
Oh, you bought this game from us for $30, this Wii game? Oh, you've had it for like a month, you're not interested in it, you want to return it or sell it back? $2.50, does that sound okay? $2? Like, bro, it's wild. Never sell stuff at GameStop. Sell it on eBay. It's so much more. I hope GameStop goes out of business. And they already kind of are getting cooked. The one by me literally closed down, and it's been open the whole time I've lived here. And well, the first time I saw that, I was just pure joy. Filled my heart. Not for the people that lost their jobs, but for the fucking CEO. Okay. If you want. I'm down for whatever. I'm down to just keep on playing Battlefront. It's up to you.